Well, thank you, Sulaiman. We have here with us Mr. Emeka Etiba, a senior advocate of Nigeria. You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you, Magu.
So what were your thoughts when you heard about this? Now, they say it's not a rejection, but the sending back, let's use the terms now, of the acting chair of the EFCC back to the executive on the grounds of a security report. What were your initial thoughts?
Okay, two things. The word reject and sending back are alien to the law. What the law says, EFCC Act, is that there should be a chairman of EFCC, and the chairman has to be appointed by the president and confirmed by the Senate. That's the word. Section 2, subsection 3.
Are you insinuating, sorry to interrupt, are you saying that the Senate cannot take any other action apart from confirmation?
No, well, you know, much of what we read are just news out there. But if I have to evaluate what has gone on, the president appointed by sending in Magu's name to the Senate. What that section of the law says is that the Senate should confirm. What we see today is that Senate failed to confirm. That is the position. Whether you call it rejection, whether you call it sending back, there is no confirmation. But my initial thoughts about it, and that is very fundamental, like when I comment on other issues, the issue of fair hearing is an issue nobody can run away from. Fair hearing. And that is why some of us who are involved in defending cases that border on anti-corruption and all that, will feel emboldened to do that, because it is not good for a man to be bandied as corrupt because the newspapers have said it, the agencies, security agencies have said it. There's need for fair hearing. Take the man to court, let the court determine whether he's culpable or not. I'll tell you what has happened in the case of Magu. It's exactly the same thing. And I'll take you a little back to the story of fair hearing. You know, I'm a Christian and I'm a confessed one. If you go to the book of Genesis chapter 3, verses 9 to 19, all religions believe that God is omnipresent, God is everywhere, watches us. And there in the garden, Adam and Eve sinned, ate the fruit that God said they shouldn't eat. God watched them as they ate it. And thereafter, God called Adam and said, "Where art thou?" And Adam said whatever he said and started building defenses. "Have you eaten of that tree?" And all that and all that. He gave him opportunity to defend himself. Much as he was there, he saw them eat it. You know, they defended themselves before God made pronouncement on the woman and on Adam. I believe the Quran has a story like that. You know, so fair hearing borders on humanity, life. It doesn't have to do with Magu or whoever. It is a fundamental right life has given everybody. The Constitution of Nigeria enshrined it. Section 36, subsection 1, deals with fair hearing.
Your point is taken on the...
No, I'm linking it. I'm linking it to it. By what we were told, the actions of the Senate, I do not think and I do not believe that Magu was given fair hearing to react to some information that leveled accusations against him. That is where I'm going to. Magu should have been given an opportunity to comment on that, after which a decision will be taken. That is about fair hearing, and that is where I stop. Whether he is culpable or he's not culpable, I, as a lawyer, have not even gotten to that point. So when I hear people say it's corruption fighting corruption, he has just been framed up and all that, I laugh, because the defense should not get to it. The defense is very simple. Has he been given fair hearing? If he has not been given fair hearing, he should be given fair hearing. And I said that of the judges who are also being tried today. Today, most people believe that they are guilty. They are guilty. They shouldn't sit. Why? Because they have just been labeled guilty. At the end of trial, Nigerians will know whether they are guilty or not. So, talking about Magu, I still visit him with the same measure. He is entitled to his fundamental right to defend himself. And I call on whoever is in charge to give him that opportunity before you nail him.
So how do you think that this is going to proceed now? We hear that the president has ordered the Attorney General to investigate the matter and, get back to him. Do you think that at the end of the day, he might be able to put out his own position?
Yes, investigating the matter will entail Magu being called up to state his own case. So I believe it's a right step at the right direction. Some people kick against it and say, is the Attorney General imbued with the ability to conduct investigation? And I say to them, the president, by what I read in the papers, has not said investigate and charge to court. This is more like a preliminary thing. If the Attorney General finds any merit, then he can now make his recommendation, which will now lead, by my thinking, which will now lead to a proper investigation, which may or may not lead to prosecution. So I don't think there's anything wrong with what the president has done. The president needs to be advised. His chief advisor actually is the Attorney General. So I think he's on the right track to order for such.
Well, looking at, I don't know if you've been, listening or reading the politics. A lot of the media are reporting on this, on this particular matter. They talk about infighting within the president's kitchen cabinet. You heard our first guest, Mr. Robert Clark, talk about how this could not have happened without the knowledge of the president's kitchen cabinet and without the knowledge of the presidency, as it were. How do you think that this investigation is going to play out, especially since we also hear that the Attorney General is a part of, those who are supposed to be involved in this power play?
Unfortunately, I'm not privileged to have the information you have as a journalist. And as a lawyer, I refrain from commenting on rumors. I wouldn't know whether the issues bordering on kitchen cabinet or no kitchen cabinet exist. But what I do know is that the Attorney General, I've met him one-on-one. He's a colleague, and I know him very well. And I believe he's a fair-minded man. And I also believe that the buck does not stop on his table. I believe that the preliminary work he will do will still be subject to, if he finds an indictment, it will still be subject to a proper investigation. So I don't know about kitchen cabinet. There's always a talk about kitchen cabinet in every regime. This is not the first time.
Etiba, I liked your quiet smile when I asked you that question about, kitchen cabinet, because you're also no stranger to politics.
Yes.
And you definitely know how these things play out. Yes. Mr. Robert Clark talked about how this could not have happened without knowledge of some people in the presidency, because they're people that the DSS ought to have reported to before that report went to the Senate. So how do you think, or what do you think transpired before the Senate got that report, which, it was not very, very positive on Mr. Magu?
Okay. The question is more direct now. You're not talking about conjecture anymore. You're talking about the workings of government, not kitchen cabinet. So I can feel bold and say that the DSS couldn't have forwarded the report to Senate without letting the NSA know about it, and invariably the president. It is not possible that an arm of government executive can forward such report to the Senate, another arm of government, without, first of all, having that report go round. So I don't think they acted on their own. And that is why when people begin to talk about DSS and say that it's a vendetta thing, it is this, it is that, again, that's the Nigerian factor. It's the Nigerian factor. Have they gone beyond their brief? They have not. What did they do? They wrote a report. I've not seen that report, but they wrote a report. I don't think they went out of their brief. They did what they ought to do. For every Nigerian who is attending clearance from the Senate National Assembly, they should declare what they know about that person. And that, I think, is what they did. I wouldn't know whether they went to the National Assembly and insisted that the Senate must not confirm Magu. But if it is based on the strength of the letter they wrote, it is within their province to so do. So, and I'm talking about whether it is concealed or not concealed, I believe that the NSA, the president, should know about that letter before it was sent out. Otherwise, somebody's job will be on the line.
Let's quickly go to Lagos now for some questions.